Okay, to wrap up a little bit about Kiddush Levana and to actually go through Kiddush Levana and the Siddur the way it should be done in a proper way. So first of all, we said yesterday that you really shouldn't do it Friday night unless if it's the last night, then you have to do it Friday night. You don't make a shachiana on Kiddush Levana because there's a few reasons, but the main reason is because we don't do it, we do it every month. You need at least 6 months to make a bracha of shachianu and so on. 1 second, okay. Let's go through, if you want to take a siddur and follow exactly what you're supposed to do when you do Kiddush Levana. So Kiddush Levana is on 301 in the Siddurim. Okay? Now, you have to do it like we said, under the open sky. But the Evid, if you do it inside, it's fine. We also learned if somebody is not able to say the whole bracha, let's say they don't have a siddur and it's last night, they can just say Baruch Atah Hashem Mechadish Chadashim, and then the Yitzah, that mitzvah of Kiddush Levana. Okay, so we start off with the bracha, with the parak of Tilim, Halukah Lu Hashem and Hashemayim, because that parak discusses the sun, the moon, all praising Hashem. Then, when you finish that first paragraph, before you say Baruch Atah, like it says in the Siddur, you put your feet together. For that bracha, you have to put your feet together like you do by the Shmoneh Esrei, by the Amidah. You're supposed to, before you start the bracha, you're supposed to take a look at the moon to see what you're making a bracha on. After you make the bracha, it's brought down, you should not look at the moon again. Why not? Because it appears like you're davening to the moon, which is Avodah Zarah. So you have to take a quick look at the moon, make sure it's there before you're doing the bracha. Then your feet are together, you make the bracha, and then you don't look at the moon again until it's all over. Then you can look at the moon. Now it's interesting, Shaila. What happens if you're in the middle of the bracha and somebody's ahead of you, and they come over to you and say, Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem Shalom. In the middle of the bracha. No, so I'm saying, so what's the din? See, you got it right. Now what happens if somebody is in the middle of the bracha, okay? They said, again, if you're following the siddur, it's so much easier. You say, Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher b'ma'amar baruch chokim u'v'ruach piv kol tzavom. So they bring down, so Shulchan brings down, once you said the words, Uveruach piv kol tzavom, you can answer Aleichem Shalom. If somebody says Shalom Aleichem to you, after the middle of the third line, not before, but you say Baruch Atah Hashem Asher b'ma'amar baruch chokim u'v'ruach piv kol tzavom, and then after that, if somebody says to you Shalom Aleichem, then you say Aleichem Shalom. Now, what happens if you came to the end of the bracha and you say Ulefored Uleyetzram al Shem Kaved Malchusei? That's what you're up to, and the guy says to you Shalom Aleichem. So again, you could answer Aleichem Shalom, but then you should repeat the last few words Ulefored Uleyetzram al Shem Kaved Malchusei, because you have to end the bracha on something which is connected to it. Aleichem Shalom is not connected to it. So once you say Uveruach piv kol tzavom, you can answer Aleichem Shalom. It's very common, by the way. People are in the middle of the bracha and they're ahead of you, they're running already. They think the pizza's getting cold. I don't know what the story is. But they're running ahead and you're in the middle of the bracha. So halachically, once you said Uveruach piv kol tzavom, then you're allowed to answer that Aleichem Shalom.
Allowed but not required.
Oh, but somebody else is Aleichem Shalom. You answer. It's rude not to say it. Well, somebody comes to you in the middle of Shmoneh Esrei, you don't answer Shalom Aleichem Shalom. You're allowed to answer it, so why shouldn't you answer it? Because you know the way people are, they talk to you. Well, today anyway, years ago when I grew up, if a guy walked in the street and was talking to himself, we were about to put him in a mental institution. Today, everybody's walking in the street talking to themselves. Well, they're on the phone talking to somebody.
Many of them aren't. They really are just
they're talking to themselves.
It's okay.
So today, a guy comes to you and says, Shalom Aleichem, and you don't answer, he might get upset with you. That's the truth. He might get upset with you and do it. So again, if you... Huh?
You just answer Aleichem Shalom, you don't say back Shalom.
No. You just say Aleichem Shalom. Okay, we'll get there when we do Shalom Aleichem. Okay? So then you say this Mamar Baruch Chokim, and so again, after you said Uberich Piv Kol Tzvam, you can answer Aleichem Shalom. If you came all the way to the end and said Kved Malchusei, then what you do is you could answer Aleichem Shalom, but then you should say again Ulefara Liyetzem Al Shem Kved Malchusei, that the bracha should be ending on something. Okay. Then on 302, before you say Baruch Eisech, Baruch Eisech, Baruch Benech, Baruch Kenech, you jump up 3 times, like you do by Kiddush, right? Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. Then you say Baruch Eisech, Baruch Eisech, Baruch Benech, Baruch Kenech. By the way, just for the record, these are the 4 worlds. Eisech is Asiya, Yitzech is Yitzira, Baruch is Bria, and Kenech is Atzilus. What? That's Hebrew. Why? No, Asiya is Eisech, Yitzech means what? The one that made Eisech, Yitzech. Okay. So, and then you say Shem Sheni Reik Kenech Veini Yochel and Gayabach. Okay. Then you finish this paragraph until a Masalem people, and then you say it 3 times. So each time you go Baruch Eisech, Baruch Eisech, Baruch Berech, and then you say the whole paragraph again. Again, you jump up 3 times and you say Baruch Eisech, Baruch Eisech, Baruch Berech, Baruch Kenech. Now there's a story in Lubavitch with the Rebbe Rashab that he had terrible tooth problems, toothaches. So they noticed that he would put his hand when he said when he said those words, so none of your enemies can touch me, it was a school to put your finger on the teeth, and that's supposed to help you from toothaches or tooth problems. I don't know if the dentists like it too much, but in fact, they bring down a whole story here. That in the Bavish, Rabbi Nachman Khan writes, everybody knows what the Rebbe Rashab, when he would say, when he said those words, he put his hand on his teeth, and he said, you should never have toothaches. You should never have toothaches. Okay? Then the story is called that there was a chassid of Pinchas Altes who was very close with the Frierdiker Rebbe, when he had terrible toothaches, and he told the Frierdiker Rebbe. So the Rebbe asked him, did you touch your teeth when you said Shem Shani Reik? So he said no. So he told him the story, and then he told it to our Rebbe. This is way before the Rebbe became Rebbe, and the Rebbe went into his father-in-law to verify it, and since then the Rebbe also started doing it. So you see by Kiddush Levana, if you ever watch a video of a Living Torah, whatever, the Rebbe, when he did Kiddush Levana, would put his hand, when he said those words, he would do that. Okay, that's that. Then you say, David Melchi Sochai V'Kaim 3 times. Then you say to 3 people, Shalom Aleichem, the guy answers Aleichem Shalom. But our custom is, I don't know what the source of that is, that when the guy answers Aleichem Shalom, you also say Aleichem Shalom. You know, you say Shalom Aleichem, when the guy's answering Aleichem Shalom, you also sing Aleichem Shalom. That you do also 3 times. 3 different people. Like we said yesterday, if there's only 2 people, you say it to one guy twice. If there's no one person, you say it to the same guy 3 times. If there's nobody there, you say it to yourself. Or if a guy has a wife or whatever, they could say it to the wife.
What's the reason for repeating it at the same time?
I just said, I don't know the reason, but that's the minig. What? Looks like it. Okay, then you say 3 times Simon to Mazel Yalon Chol Yisrael Amen. Okay, then you say the other chapters of Kiddush Levana. Huh? By Kiddush Levana? Depends who it is. If the guy's going to stab you on the back while you're doing it, don't do it. In today's world, they hug you and stab you at the same time. You know that? Don't know that? No. Okay.
You've been hanging out with the wrong crowd.
I'm hanging out with the right crowd. He's not in the wrong crowd. Okay. Then afterwards you say, Aleinu l'shabeach. Then there's Kaddish Yosim. No, not Al Yisrael, because you're only basically saying Sukkim of Tilim. Even though you have the Tonevei Rabbi Yishmael, but still you're saying it on Tilim. So you say Yehei Shlama Kaddish, and then you shake the corners of your tzitzis. There's a lot of different reasons for that, but whatever the reasons are, you shake the corners of the talis cotton. That's the proper way of doing Kiddush Levana. Okay? Okay, then the minig is, when you finish doing Kiddush Levana, you say Good Chodesh, Chodesh Tov or whatever. Now, what happens?
Even if it's not actually Rosh
Right, the minig is even, it's not Rosh, you can't do Kiddush Levana Rosh Chodesh. So then, when you finish Kiddush Levana, you say you wish each other Kiddush Good Chodesh or Chodesh Tov, whatever. Now, what happens if somebody is in a situation? What comes first, Kiddush Levana or Ma'ariv? So Arvis or Kiddush Levana. Let's say you're on your way to shul, whatever, and there's a minyan in 20 minutes, so now you're going to go, you have 20 minutes, it's night already, so you can say Kiddush Levana. So halacha is for 2 reasons, Ma'ariv has to be before Kiddush Levana. 2 reasons. Number 1, because Ma'ariv is more common than Kiddush Levana. Ma'ariv is Tadav V'Sheina Tadav, more common, less common, the more common comes first. Secondly, Ma'ariv has the mitzvah of Shema, which is biblical. It's a biblical mitzvah. So a biblical mitzvah comes before the rabbinic aspect of Kiddush Levana. What happens though, if it's the last night, and it looks like it's going to cloud up, and if you daven Ma'ariv first, you might miss doing Kiddush Levana. So then the din is, then it becomes a mitzvah Iveres, a mitzvah that's you're going to lose the opportunity. So then you could do it even before Ma'ariv and before Krishma. But ideally, Ma'ariv should come first, Ma'ariv, which is Krishma and Shemona Esrei, so you have 2 mitzvahs, and that's more common than Kiddush Levana, so that goes first. But if somebody's not going to be able to do it, then they don't. Okay, another thing with, what else? The Kiddush Levana. 1 second. That's basically it with what the customs and the dinim of Kiddush Levana. What? If it's not the last night, then the Levana will still be around. After then you daven Ma'ariv first. You have a similar thing, by the way, by B'dikas Chametz. There's a whole question, there's a whole Kuntus Achmed, now Rebbe Nechus Pesach with this, about what comes first, B'dikas Chametz or Ma'ariv. So normally it says you're supposed to, if you daven with a regular minyan, then you daven Ma'ariv first and then do B'dikas Chametz. But otherwise you're supposed to do B'dikas Chametz first. If you're davening Ma'ariv at home, you're supposed to do B'dikas Chametz first and then Ma'ariv. I know it's not the season yet.
When it seems like it's going to be overcast over the moon soon, so we might as well.
So then I said, then you do it first. But if there's other nights that you could do it and it doesn't expect to be cloudy, then you could do it.
I know you mentioned yesterday about doing it only at nighttime.
Yeah.
If it's overcast in New York now, are you allowed to do it if it's very cloudy and you see this?
If you see the image of the moon, but the other you could do it. Yeah. Yeah. Hanan mekashim mit hat gebaut sagt so wie gegebel am mit